Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we want to take a look at 2024 Jamb past questions and solution. And welcome to the first video of chemistry core on Jamb past question and solution. So the first question goes thus: what type of chemical bond that exists between potassium and oxygen in potassium oxide is dash? So we have dative bond, B metallic bond, C ionic bond, and D covalent bond. So if you have to take a look at something like this, the first thing you need to understand is how do you break the question and how do you think within a second to easily navigate and pick your correct answer. It is very simple. So guys, the first thing we have to look at here is potassium and oxygen in potassium oxide. The first thing you need to understand as a student when it comes to Jamb examination and as far as chemistry is concerned, you need to understand the concept of how to write the chemical formula of a compound given to you. You know, here we are talking about potassium and oxygen in potassium oxide. So if you have to write potassium oxide, some students can write it like this, and we have it like this. This is wrong. This is the correct answer for potassium oxide. And why is it like this? There's what we call the octet and duplet rule. You need to understand our aspects as well. For those of you that are just coming across the video, go to my video catalog. I've shot a video on how to write electronic configuration, how to identify a ion and an atom. Is that clear now? So back to this. So potassium oxide, we're having this. So with this, guys, we're having two potassium and one what? Oxygen. So guys, the first potassium is written as this. The second potassium is written as this. So what is the configuration of the T potassium? So don't forget that the atomic number of potassium is 19. So we have 2881. The second one 2881. So guys, during this, we have the outer electron to be 1. We also have the outer electron to be 1. This is what? The outer electron. And here we have our oxygen, which is what? 2. The atomic number is 8. And we have 2, 6. So the outer electron of this is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is very obvious that this oxygen needs 2 more electrons to attain its octet state. And that word octet is what, guys? 8. So oxygen needs 2 more electrons here to attain its octet state. And with that, this potassium here will also attain the octet state because we're having 1 electron here, 1 electron here. So donating the 2 electrons from these 2 potassium here to this 1 oxygen here will as well make this oxygen to attain its octet state. So guys, if this one is being transferred to this, we're having this, and this is being what? Transferred to this, we have this. So in a nutshell, the first potassium is left with 288 attain octets. Oxygen from 2,6 is now what? 28. Also as well what? Attain octet. The second potassium 288. So with this will give us what we call potassium oxide. So guys, the kind of bond that exists here. Now let's go back to the option. The dative covalent bond, it involves the transferring of electron and sharing of electrons. So that is not the answer. So ionic bond tells us that the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal. So guys, let's go back to the question. The type of chemical bond that exists between potassium and oxygen in potassium oxide is dash. Ionic bond is the answer. In case you come across it as electrovalent bond, ionic and electrovalent bond are the same thing. Is that clear now? So let's take a look at the next question as react with water at the fastest rate. The first option is calcium, The second one is magnesium. The third one is sodium, while the last one is iron. There are things you need to understand about reactivity of metal. The reactivity of metal, potassium reacts fast more than the sodium, magnesium, iron, and calcium. And why is it that potassium has the highest rate to react fast with water? Because in order of the reactivity, we have sodium, we have potassium, we have lithium, we have calcium, we have magnesium. But potassium has the highest priority to react fast with water. So when we look at this reactivity of metal with water, the list we have now is reactivity of metal with water. You need to understand this concept in case you come across a question that asks you that if metal should react with water at the least rates. So is that clear? So the first thing is the order of reactivity. Order of reactivity, we have the metal. The first one we have here is most reactive. The second one, the second most reactive. The third most reactive. And we have the least reactive. So the first element, as I've said earlier, that potassium has the highest priority to react faster with water. So the first we have here is potassium. The second one is sodium, Na. The third one is calcium. And the least reactive is magnesium. So guys, back to what we have on the board. As a Jambite, this particular thing we have on the board will be useful for you in case you come across any question that deals with reactivity of metal with water at fastest rate or the least rate. So guys, which of the following metal reacts with water at the fastest rate? The first one is calcium. The second one is magnesium. The third one is sodium, while the last one is what? Iron. So guys, the reactivity of metal with water at fastest rate. Potassium reacts fast with water, but among the options we don't have potassium there. So the second most reactive we have sodium. There is sodium here. The third most reactive we have calcium. There's calcium here, and the least reactive there's what? Magnesium. So one thing you need to know about Jamb is that Jamb does give you 3 options and they play with it. And among the 3 options, there's what we call the most correct, the second most correct, and the third what? Most correct. If you look at this reactivity of metal, sodium is the answer, but we have the third most reactive, which is what? Magnesium, and we have the least reactive, which is what? Third most reactive is calcium, while the least reactive is what? Magnesium. So guys, if you have to pick your question and your answer in Jamb, read your question in the space of what? Some seconds, and look at the question very well before you pick your answer. So guys, the correct answer is what? Second most reactive. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, and if you have any question you want to ask sequel to Jamb question, be any year or whatever question, don't forget to deposit it in the comment box. Thanks.